Oh, it's just Jord.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another No Nightmares Theory video. I know, I am totally sorry on how long it's been taken? Is that a word? Anyway, I'm sorry how long it's took. It's been just absolutely mind-boggling. I tried that video with Rick and Morty, see how that went. But anyway, it means a lot to me. There may be more of that coming soon. I don't know just yet, but I am working on a theory on that anyway. But aside from that, I just want to mention something to everyone though. Thank you ever so much. I'm so happy and I appreciate every one of you so much. There's a section on my YouTube channel now which has been opened up and it's the community tab, and I just want to let you all know that if you ever want to get into like a video before they come out, or you want to see some little funny bits, I'm going to be posting a lot more there. So think of Patreon, but you don't have to donate anything, and I mean that, you really don't. I mean it. Don't donate anything. Not that you will, but don't. But it's going to be treated like a Patreon. I'm going to put like loads of beneficial things in there. So if you ever do want to have a little pop on there, if you want to get involved in the community, by all means go for it. I will be happy and I will try and reply to every comment I see. But anyway, back to the main topic of the video. The Little Nightmares theory, a new theory for you all, a new thought for me. Anyway, what's it about? So the other day I was pondering and I realised that, you know, I haven't touched up on the thoughts of the Evil Six. You know, the weird shadow figure that appears every time that Six eats. And yet again, you'll probably be surprised to know I don't agree with the most common thought theory. So before everyone dislikes me in the comments, let me tell you all about what I think. So let us theorise. I actually do not think it's evil. And I say this because Six isn't really evil. Yeah, we all know how horrific it was when she decided to go have a bit of a gnome sandwich instead of the sausage. So when she doesn't take the sausage, if you believe in the theory that, you know, the meat is from either the kids or the guests, then that's why she doesn't eat the sausage. And with this in mind, you actually never see her eat meat that the chefs prepare. The only time you ever see her eat anything living is a gnome and the lady. She eats a tiny bit of meat when she gets caught by the janitor, but I think that's rat meat, and I do believe that's true, as the janitor isn't on the chef level, and you always see loads of rats hanging up by their tails, and Roger's long arms are the perfect thing to put them there. So why would he do this? To create his own bait to lure the hungry children, especially if he doesn't have access to the kitchen, is what I would assume. So, digressing onwards, what is the shadow that appears when Six eats, and why? So, I took a number of questions from it and asked myself a bunch of them, and one of the questions that cropped up quite a bit for myself was, does it just appear when she eats meat? And we can confirm that no, it doesn't. It's literally every time she eats anything. But it does seem to get stronger when she consumes the gnome, as when she does consume the gnome, it affects the electricity around her when she consumes it. Just like at the end of the game where she takes the lady's power and she's walking down the dining room hallway or whatever it is, and you see all the lights flickering, etc, etc. So it leads me to my thought on what I personally think the shadow could actually be. And one of the things I think it could be is it's just a representation of Six's power and the hunger for power, and that she's not one with yet. It seems like it's watching her, she's eating, letting you know that there's a hint of the fact there will be something waiting for you at the end of the game when you overthrow the lady and take her powers. Because that's the only time that you don't see it appear. It's when all the power goes into Six, or she obtains the same sort of powers that the lady has, from when obviously she takes a good old chunk out the lady. Because it gives the same particle effect as well. So with regards to saying the lady has the same sort of powers as well, this might be why at the end of the game where you do defeat her, she gives herself up willingly because she knows what's coming. She knows she's going to be absorbed by Six as the next predecessor or whatever. But what's interesting to think about is this dark energy particle effect shadow or whatever it is the reason why the moor is a horrible place? Could it be another type of north wind, for instance? So at the start of the game, when Six has that dream, it looks like the lady is actually consuming just like Six did at the end of the game. And then having the power go into her. That's what all that black particle effect was at the start. But the lady seems to do this when she's older, not young like Six. So could this dark power be what turned the lady into being a not so nice governess, who's able to hypnotize people to come onto them more willingly, and then take their souls from them? Because when you see the guests boarding in the moor, you can actually hear them slightly chanting something in the background. I'll try and get a clip of it in the next bit. So this power that we're talking about only seems to ever get stronger when it consumes souls. So what if the moor was created to hide away from monsters outside the moor like the North Wind, etc, etc, and the lady was overtook by this power without knowing it? This is why the moor no longer is a safe place where children want to be anymore, and consistently try to escape and are captured to be there. But I believe it's a bit far-fetched, and it's probably my imagination. As the lady's description does state, amidst the chaos of the world outside, the moor is the only place that makes sense. And now the rumour of an escaped child threatens everything. Nothing can be allowed to interfere. The guests must eat. So this is where I go super over the top with the theory and the power idea in the North Wind. So if the moor must survive, I'm guessing that the North Wind or the power had something to do with the takeover, or the attempted takeover. So let's think of the Fable 3 game, where your character had to defeat your brother in the political sense, because your brother was doing a lot of messed up thing, and this is obviously Logan we're on about. And Logan would do very questionable acts, things to people, but it was all for a greater good in the game, because there was something coming after them that they had to prepare for. And he probably didn't do the best job of doing it, but he still did it in the best interest. Now what if we apply this to the lady? So maybe, just maybe, the moor needs to survive to protect the children as it is. Maybe it keeps them safe from the North Wind for now, and this is why, yet again, all the mirrors are broken. But there's one or more things that confuses me. Why would they need the children as well as the guests? As if it was to do with food shortages? I'm sure the guests would keep them well fed enough to not need to consume or capture children. So does this mean that the North Wind or the power possibly gain it from the children? As it seems from the first comic, he's not after the adults in the village, it was just the children. And they're in a competitive position with the moor. But I can't seem to think why the moor would need children other than to stop the North Wind having them. But anyway, back to the point. I more believe that this shadow figure is another representation of a type of power within the Little Nightmares universe. Because we got the North Wind, so it's not far to think that there's a competitor out there for the moor. So what's to say that the competitor hasn't already touched base? But there I go again, rambling as usual. But I want to know what you guys think in particular. What do you think the shadow figure is? It's always fun to theorize. I want to know what you think. Also guys, if you want anything explained, for example, let me know in the comments below or something that you want to see Little Nightmares wise. So I hope you enjoyed this theory video. If you did, please leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe. Subscribing and liking helps tremendously amount. And I appreciate every one of you that leaves a comment and leaves a like on every video, and every one of you that's subscribed. But yeah, until the next video guys, make sure to keep looking after yourselves, and I hope you all have a good day. Bye!